Good morning all. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Mishka Hamid and I'll be your host for today. As advisor assistants, delivering service excellence comes naturally to you. Today's session is in part to thank you for all you do and the value you add to your clients and to your advisors' businesses. We acknowledge we acknowledge all the effort that you put into every day into making your clients' lives easier, as well as playing a part in giving them the best investment outcomes. August is Women's Month, and a month in which we pay tribute to the generations of women who have come before us and paved the way for empowering women and gender equality to date. We celebrate the women today who are resilient and strong, and we thank them for all that they've done. Today we have three remarkable women with us, and I hope that you walk away today with feeling inspired as well as motivated. Firstly, before we get started, I'd like to get into some housekeeping rules. If you experience any technical issues during this session, please use the Zoom help guide or try logging out and back into the webinar. If you would like to submit live questions, please do so via the Q&A functionality at the bottom of your screen. We have also received questions via the registration process, and we will try to get to these questions, as many of these questions as possible. We will also be sending out the link to the recording of the online training as well as the academy training in the next 2 weeks. Lastly, we are live and therefore cannot rule out any glitches. So please, if we do experience anything, please be patient and we will try and resolve it as soon as possible. Now to get into the agenda. We will first be hearing from Sumaya Saleh, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with. She's our training facilitator and she'll be giving us an update on our training initiatives. We will then be hearing from Roshni Bhagwan, who has recently taken over from Nick De Silva, and she will be giving us a digital platform update. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Sumaya, and she will be giving us the update on the training support initiatives. Over to you, Sumaya.
Good morning and thank you, Mishka. It certainly is an honor to stand in front of you in Women's Month. It just seems fitting that the entire panel today is women. So let's reign strong. The initiatives that I'm going to talk through today are often, and to tie that into the theme of the webinar today, which is all about aspiring to service excellence. I mean, it's something that we often talk about and we often see, especially when we talk about investments and the industry that we work in. The initiatives that I'm going to talk through are the 3 training initiatives that we hope to support you in that journey to aspiring to service excellence. There's an introductory program that I host for assistants. Then there's a continuous journey in terms of keeping them up to date, or keeping you, I say them. And then the 3rd initiative that I'll talk to today is actually a pilot initiative that we've just sort of piloted this year. And it's really just about giving you a bit of an update on what that is. As Mishka mentioned, a lot of you probably know me and probably sat through our training sessions just yesterday. But I'm sure there's also a lot of you who have not yet had the opportunity to experience it, but hopefully this gives you the initiative to want to do so. And if I jump straight into it, the first initiative, I thought it fitting when putting together the slides for today. It actually made me sit and reflect on the journey of that introductory program. And it takes us all the way back to 2014. Now that's quite a long time ago, and I myself was shocked to actually realize that this is an idea that has been coming for so long. Started in mid-2014, it was just the idea, and then we started doing research. We then fast forward a little bit to April 2015, we did our first session. It was one group, one practice. It was, I think, about 10 assistants. and a 2-day training course. Successful enough for us to host a multi-group in the Cape Town offices a month later, and then we sort of saw this journey of we're now offering tailored group training, practice-based sessions. It was just dependent on the need at the time. And it led us to this day with introducing a 7-month program where you now sign up in February and you sort of spend that journey with us, and it looks like this. So that 7-month journey actually looks like this. There are 7 facilitated sessions. We provide you access to an online e-learning platform where you then do some online work. So it is blended. It's a blended approach to learning. There are 2-hour facilitated sessions once a month, because we understand that if you take on this program or this opportunity, it's not the only thing you're doing. You're a mom, you're an assistant first, of course, in your working life, and you're playing all these different roles. So it feels like a lot, but I assure you it is something that you can get through. And I say that because like it's happened. We've been running it for the last 4 years, successfully so. I thought it interesting also just to show you some of the numbers and to show you why we feel that it is something that is value added, or it's a value add to your practice, which indirectly feeds to a benefit, of course, for us, because if you know our products better, if you know our processes, we're going to be able to interact with each other a lot better. And you can see I do have 2 graphs in my presentation, but I'm not going to spend lots of time on it. It's that part of the presentation where they always say, oh, this is the boring part. The only thing I want to draw your attention to here maybe is the red bar. The red bar was 2020. We all know what happened in 2020. And of course, because we were all initially just getting comfortable with being digital and getting into Zoom and Teams and all those things, there was a bit of a dip. But since then, we've seen it grow, and there are now currently 380 participants that we hope to finish off the year with. So that's just some numbers. I thought it also fitting to just share some of the some of the comments and testimonials or feedback that we've received. And the biggest one that I grouped together was, how do I fit this into my day? And I'm not going to read everyone, but you can see it up on screen. And I think the one that I want to draw attention to is the one about every spare minute makes a difference. And that's so true. And it's something that I carry through in all my sessions. It's about just starting, making the choice to just start, and then you do each little step, and you're going to find that you're going to get to the end of it all. Quite cheekily, one of the assistants said to me, no, I do this before I even do my work. That's definitely not what we want you to do, but it is achievable. And then there's just some general feedback on the value to you, because it really is designed with you in mind and how we can make you and your practice be more efficient, and how we can support you to become more efficient with Allan Gray's products and processes. So that's the introduction. And you may be asking yourselves, and I'm sure that my group this year of that 380 are asking, what's next? And that's where the continuous journey comes in. So this is very low touch. If the introduction program is high touch, meaning there's lots of interaction and there's lots to get through, the continuous journey is really just about upskilling. Because you actually look at the definition of, if you Googled it, for example, achieving excellence, how do you do it? You're going to come across, I kid you not, 154 million results. But the one piece that I want to pull out there is that to achieve excellence, you need to do the same task and try to do it better every time. And with the continuous journey, that's sort of where we want to keep you constantly upgrading your knowledge. So it's based on things that have happened in the industry within a 3-month period, and then we sort of draft content and test you on that, just to make sure that you know what's happening within the industry. We do offer it to the graduates of that first introductory program. Okay. We piloted last year and we got some good feedback, and that of course allowed us to actually say, okay, let's go ahead with this. So you'll see that there are quarterly dates. We communicate this towards the beginning of the year, in January, February, and it really is an opt-in. You can choose to do them or choose not to. That I think is quite important. What is nice is that you do get a certificate of completion after each of these quarterly assessments, I want to call them. So it's really about you and your willingness to want to continue to learn so that you can achieve service excellence. I mean, Mishka mentioned it. We probably do so much already, but it really doesn't stop us from doing even more every day. And then the last initiative is the standardized training. So we call it onboarding. So this would be mainly pitched at somebody who is completely new to Allan Gray, and then also completely new to perhaps even just the investment world. Maybe not Allan Gray, but investments are not your forte. I mean, I can certainly say I'm one of them. I studied psychology, and yet I find myself in the investment world. And I haven't left since. It's been it's been 17 years in total, 14 with Allan Gray. So this initiative is designed for those who want to know who we are. There are 3 sessions. The first session is about who is Allan Gray, what do they offer, just getting familiar with that. The second one is around online and our digital functionality, and you'll hear a little bit about that from Roshni. And then the third one is around our funds and our performance and our investment philosophy. This particular onboarding pilot is actually targeted at not only assistants but also advisors. But it is something new. And again, lastly, just some numbers. I say this is my measure of success, is that if we get 50% of people registering, 50% of the people who have registered attending these sessions, then I'm happy. Look, I've trained one-on-one as well. I do it all. But these initiatives are really about being able to scale it to the whole region, like to every region. It becomes very difficult as a sole person to get to everybody. So digital and the digital space and being able to communicate like this and connect with you like this has made it a little bit easier for us to get to more people. Again, just on the numbers here, you can see that there's always been, I say always, but there is an uptick. We've done it 3 times now. It's every second month. The next set of training is actually happening next week. Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to share. If there are any other support initiatives that you would love for us to take on from a training perspective, please use the survey that will pop up at the end of this session. That's definitely an opportunity for you to do so. And that is me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sumaya. I think we can all agree that continuous learning is beneficial for all parties involved, and I hope that you will take advantage of some of these initiatives that Sumaya has presented to you today. Sumaya, we have received some questions, and so I'm going to just go through those. The first one is, how do I sign up for the introductory program? And how much does it cost? Sorry.
No, thank you, Misha. It's fairly easy. You can do so in the survey at the end. Interest, or just sort of in the feedback or the comments that you do provide us with, just say that I'm interested in this initiative. Alternatively, you can send an email to academy@Allan Gray. Fairly simple email address as well. The costs involved, there's a very minimal cost, and it's a cost that Allan Gray covers. It's for access to the actual online learning platform that we host the content on. It's less than, I want to say it's less than 300 Rand. It is a cost to us though that we are willing to take on if the person registering comes with the mind of, I'm here to learn. I want to learn it all. And it's a quote that I've heard or before. The person who said it fails me now, but it's, you can choose to be a know-it-all or you can choose to be a learn-it-all. And I'm hoping that you want to be the learn-it-all.
Thanks, Sumaya. Another question we received was, can all the assessments be done at the end of the program, or do they need to be done after each module?
Absolutely. So we do release the information per module, but you can actually decide how you're going to do the actual work. The guideline or the 7-month period that we give us or give is just so that there is a formalized process of when to attend these facilitated workshops, when the information releases. But absolutely, you can do it all at the end of September, or you can do it all at the beginning of as soon as it's released. So that choice we leave up to you.
Okay, great. Can participants participate even if they cannot attend the facilitated sessions?
Definitely, we have designed, and I say we, but it's actually me. So I have designed the content in a way that allows for a full online learning experience. So we use what is called a blended learning approach, which allows you to use different mediums. So there may be a short video clip, there may be an article to read, or there may be some technical quizzes along the way just to test your knowledge as you're learning. But yes, full e-learning process or online learning program if somebody purely wanted to go that route.
Okay, and what happens if a participant cannot complete the program within the 7 months?
I think it goes back to that it's a guideline. So I sometimes, and I say this every session, use it as a guideline so that you stay on top of things. But the reality of the industry that we work in is that things crop up. Things that you haven't planned for. It could be in your personal life, it could be in your working space, it could be legislative or process related. So we do leave the content available each year. So from February, it's available all the way up until the end of the year. So December 31st, for lack of a better date, for those who need a little bit more time.
Okay. And the last question I received was whether these initiatives qualify for CPD points or not.
They unfortunately don't, and there's a very real reason why. So if you look at the content that we do cover, it's process and product related, and one of the phase requirements actually requires that you go through product specific training, so it falls under that banner, and for that reason we're unable to actually provide CPD points for it. There is an initiative I haven't mentioned, but our quarterly commentary does get posted on an external platform, Phase Exchange, and that you can get CPD points for, but not the 3 initiatives that I've shared with you today.
Thank you, Sumaya.
Thanks, Mishka.
Thanks for your presentation.
Thanks, everyone.
Our next presenter is Roshni Bhagwan. She is a business analyst from the IFA proposition team. She has recently taken over from Nick De Silva, who I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. And she is going to be giving us an update on our enhancements that we've made over the last year to our online platform. Roshni, over to you.
Thank you, Mishka, and thank you everyone for joining us today. It's been just over a year since we've provided a digital business update. And we've had quite a few exciting developments on our online platform since then. I think this is a great opportunity to tell you about what some of those developments were, but also for us to engage with you as regular users of our online offering. So for today, I'd like to briefly remind you of what we're trying to achieve with all the work we've put into Allan Gray Online. Then we'll have a look at some of what we've been seeing around usage of our online platform. But most importantly, I'd like to give you a breakdown on what we've been working on over the past year and what you can look forward to in the coming months. So as you all know, technology is key to running efficient and compliant practices. Our technology needs to be sustainable and flexible enough to cater to an ever-evolving environment. And this is why we've invested so much into our online offering. This is why we've invested so much into our online offering. And I think you would have experienced some of this as we've migrated certain functionality over to a new technology platform in the past years. With our move to a new technology platform, this has proven our ability to release new functionality at a faster rate than before. And with our migration, we've released some significant high-value functionality. So let's take a step back and have a look at what some of these things included. On the transactional side, we continue to build transactional journeys for those transactions which were previously not available online, while making enhancements along the way. And as you know, in recent years, we've introduced digital client approval, the ability to save and resume certain transactions, and prompts on your practice dashboard to help you identify where actions are needed. On the reporting side, our focus has been threefold. We've provided reporting which keeps pace with regulatory trends, such as shifts towards offshore investing and other foreign currency reporting capability. We've also provided support for scale and efficiency in your business, with the ability to generate reports in bulk. And furthermore, we support compliance needs in your practice. Sorry, I didn't change the slide. We support compliance needs in your practice with documents such as our transactional overview document. So we've really focused on providing comprehensive reporting, which evolves with the needs of the industry and also supports compliance requirements within businesses. So with our enhanced transactional offering, we continue to improve and drive digital adoption of our online channels. And the good news is, based on your feedback, our online offering has been well received. And this is further evident in the numbers, where we can see the usage of digital client authorization has gained traction over time. And more recently, we can see that the usage of our signature pages has also increased. And this is good news for us, as it is a mechanism through which we can still accommodate for wet signatures, but in a far more efficient manner. This being said, and as you can see, there is still room to improve adoption of our online channels. So this is an area where we look forward to making further progress in the coming months, as we start phasing out forms for transactions where there are comprehensive online journeys available. Over the past year, we have continued to build out our transacting and reporting capabilities, and we've delivered some smaller but still highly impactful pieces of functionality. With limited time today, I won't be able to touch on all of these points, but I do want to pick out some of the more incremental improvements which we've made along the way. So an example of this would be our regular withdrawals and withdrawal functionality, where we included CGT estimates on offshore withdrawals. And we also introduced the option to allocate withdrawals proportionately across unit trusts, and this is consistent across our product types. On migrating debit orders, we also introduced the ability to pause and resume debit orders, which we believe is a valuable addition for clients who may need a temporary relief, but without resulting in them falling off their savings journey altogether. Something we're quite excited about is our new offshore endowment product, which will be available soon. In building out this product, one of our main focus areas was to ensure that our online offering was consistent with all our other products. So you'll be able to manage your transacting and reporting via the same online portal you've become so accustomed to. We do hope that this will be a point of difference for us in the industry, where other service providers provide offshore endowments, and we believe that their processes are quite onerous and paper-based. So we've spoken a lot about what we've delivered to you over the past few years, but we're equally excited about what value we'll be bringing you and your clients in the near future. We will soon be releasing several new pieces of online functionality, including regular withdrawals, Section 14 fee renewals, and LA income revisions. Aside from the benefit of being able to easily process these instructions online, we're also excited about some of the small yet meaningful refinements we will be making to somewhat ease the friction associated with these products. So for Section 14 fee renewals, in addition to providing a fully digital submission process, we will also be moving towards a model where you can submit renewals at any point throughout the year, irrespective of expiry date. These renewed fees will then apply for 12 months forward, thereby enabling you to align fee renewals with IFA client review meetings, as well as to align policies where one client may have multiple policies. LA revisions are one of our higher volume transactions, submitted and processed completely manually. We also understand the importance of this process to clients as it directly affects their income. So for these reasons, we've decided to create a fully digital journey for this transaction to result in quicker and more accurate processing times. So you'll be able to make changes to income and frequency close to anniversary date, as well as amendments to tax rate, bank account, and asset allocation at any time of the year. We'll provide for 3 submission channels, but one benefit is if the advisor has online authorization over their client's accounts, they will be able to submit this process on their client's behalf. If we look slightly further down our roadmap to early next year, we see an item named Secure Document Delivery. As you know, information security is becoming ever more prevalent. This being the case, in the coming months we'll be starting to make client documents like welcome packs and instruction confirmations available behind the secure login on the advisor site. So we're really trying to move away from delivering sensitive documents via email and adopt an online document delivery solution where you're able to access your client's information securely online. So we'll first roll this out to our investor base, followed in time by our advisor panel. So that's pretty much it from me. As you can see, there have been quite a few positive developments and still quite a few to come. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for all your engagement over the years, and thank you for your feedback on our website. We've really tried to take this feedback on board and to invest it back into the website. And some of what I've spoken about today is based on your feedback. So I really do hope that it has made a big difference in your life. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Roshni, for that. I think that technology is truly key in running efficient practices, and I hope that you will take advantage of some of these enhancements that Roshni has spoken to today, as well as provide us feedback on any of the suggestions that you may have. Roshni, we have received some questions from the audience. The first one that we have is regarding paper forms and whether we will be allowing the use of paper forms or removing paper forms altogether.
So we are working towards removing paper-based forms for certain transactions. This will be a phased approach, so we won't remove all forms in one go. So we're starting to look at switches, withdrawals, and Section 14 fee renewals, simply because these transactions have full online capabilities built out already. So we've catered for the entire journey online. And within the journey, we've included signature PDF downloads. So you'll be able to capture all your information online, and at the point of submission, or just before the point of submission, you'll be able to download a signature page. So you'll be able to use this document in the instance where perhaps a client walks into the office and you'd like to print it out and have them sign the document. Or if you make use of third-party signing platforms such as Quickly Sign or DocuSign, you'll also be able to use this document in those situations. So we won't go cold chicken and or go cold turkey and just take all the forms away. It will be a phased approach, and you will be communicated about this before it happens.
Thank you. The next question is, why can't we dismiss actioned upcoming dates on the practice dashboard?
This is definitely something we've been thinking about, and we've been asked about this a few times. And with us building out the LA income revision screens, it is definitely something that we've been working on. There is a bit of complexity involved in building this out, but something we're definitely aiming to bring in, and without making any promises, I personally hope to see it there soon.
Thank you. The last question we received was, when will online Section 14 fee renewals be available?
So if all goes to plan, we're hoping to launch this by the end of August. And you will be able to log on. Well, there will be communications about it, but also when you log on, there will be little prompt bubbles and help me guides, which will guide you through the screens to help you navigate through the process online.
Great, thank you. That was the last question.
Thank you.
We have come to the end of our webinar, and I hope that you enjoyed the session as much as I did. I hope that you continue, or at least I hope that you feel motivated and inspired enough to continue to strive towards excellence in everything you do. Thank you all once again for joining us, and I wish you a restful weekend ahead. Thanks.